Good morning, afternoon, or evening. My name is Carter and welcome back to my second channel, Side of Sauce. We do a bunch of weird little nerdy stuff over here, and today, if you are familiar with the DCAMU, that is the DC animated universe, we're going to be ranking all the movies in that cinematic universe. Now, I personally love the DC animated movies, and not all of them are in the DCAMU specifically. There are, I believe, like 16 of those movies that are specific to that one canon, and that's what we're going to be ranking today. So yeah, let's just get right into it. So yeah, right here we have all 16 movies to rank, all the way from the Flashpoint Paradox to Justice League Dark Apocalypse War. And right off the bat, I mean, like, Flashpoint Paradox, it is a classic. It's great. The animation, even though it's a little bit of an older one, it's still really good in my opinion, and it follows the storyline from the comic, the source material, very closely, which I do appreciate. I think overall, it's probably an S tier for me. I really enjoy the movie. Voice acting's great and phenomenal. I love it personally. It's one of my all-time favorites. I'll rewatch it all the time. All of these movies, I should say, are in order from release date. That's the way we're going to be going down. I don't know all the dates. Please don't ask me. I in the comments, the dates, the years of when these movies came out. I don't know. But next up, we do have Justice League War, which I think is pretty good, pretty solid. I believe it's adapting the Darkseid War from the comics, which is a little weird, jumping straight from the Flashpoint Paradox to Justice League Darkseid War. That being said, it is really fun. There's a lot of fun moments in it. You get to kind of see the Justice League form. You get Green Lantern getting the absolute shit beat out of him, which is hilarious. But overall, it's not bad. It's not the best, but it's solid. I think we're gonna go with a high B tier for the time being. Like, it's pretty good. We could move it up later if we really wanted to. But right now, I think the high B is like a good place for it. Next up, we do have The Son of Batman. It's been a while since I've seen some of these, and Son of Batman is definitely one of them, but it is adapting like Damian Wayne's kind of introductory as the new Robin. I remember it being pretty good. I think we can throw that one in a higher B as well. The only reason I don't put it above Justice League War is just because I don't remember it as well. There wasn't anything I can remember off the top of my head that really jumped out at me. Next we have Throne of Atlantis. Oh, this is tough. I do really like this movie. It's solid. However, it is the same kind of story as like the live action Aquaman movie, just with more Justice League members. However, it's still solid. It's not great, and it does drag a little at times. So for that, I think we might have to put it in C tier just for now. Again, all these can get moved around later on if we're really feeling it. Batman versus Robin, however, I love this movie. It adapts. It's not so much a Batman versus Robin movie as the title would make you think it is. It is more of a Court of Owls movie, which I don't know if you can see back here. We got the little Court of Owls mask. I love that run so much. I think we're gonna have to throw Batman vs. Robin in A, just because I love how they adapted the Court of Owls. Some of the coolest freaking action too in some of those movies. Batman Bad Blood, again, this is one of those movies, so this is kind of like a weird one. I don't know exactly what it's adapting, and it's another one I haven't seen in a while. I do know it kicks off as kind of like Bruce Wayne is missing, and so the rest of the Bat family kind of has to pick up the slack. It's not bad. It's not bad. I think it's, again, one of those ones where it's not super memorable, so I might have to throw that in C tier. I know I'm gonna get flamed in the comments for like, oh, but what about this part and this part? But like, for me personally, there was nothing that really like jumped out in my brain that was super memorable about it. But it was a good amount of fun, you know. Never turned down the chance to see some like Nightwing and Batwoman and the rest of the Bat family in there. So yeah, I think C is appropriate. Justice League versus Teen Titans. This one was a lot of fun. Basically Justice League are kind of not themselves, not to spoil like a 10-year-old movie. I don't think it's 10 years old. Yeah, 2016, not 10 years. Close. 8 years is close. But yeah, this movie was pretty fun. Nothing super crazy, but I thought it was a lot of fun to see the Teen Titans go at it with Justice League. I'm gonna say in the B tier, I think is appropriate for that. Next we got Justice League Dark. I love the Justice League Dark. I need that Guillermo del Toro movie to be made. I know he's been wanting to do a Justice League Dark. He would be perfect for it. Please, James Gunn, DC Studios, please. We need this movie to be made. The animated movie, however, immediate A tier for me. I love that movie. It's so much fun. Getting to see some of the characters, some of the more like C-list characters get some love, like Deadman and Swamp Thing. It's just so cool to see. Titans the Judas Contract. Ooh. This one's tricky. We're already knocking a few points off because Nightwing has the fucking black and red suit instead of the black and blue, so you get a couple points knocked off just for that. However, this one is still, it's a pretty solid movie, if I'm being honest. Judas Contract is an old freaking comic, like first appearance of Nightwing and all of that, of Dick Grayson as Nightwing, I should say. But they did do some of the weird stuff with Slade and Tara, if I remember correctly. So I think we can put that somewhere in B. I think I enjoyed it a little bit more than Justice League versus Teen Titans, because I remember it being kind of more of a solid story all around. But next up we got Suicide Squad Hell to Pay. Immediate A tier for me. I went into that movie, I wasn't expecting a lot. I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it was. Holy crap, man, I love that one today. It's basically like the Suicide Squad are going on this mission to get Amanda Waller this like get out of hell free pass, and it's so good. It ties into the original Flashpoint paradox, which I love. Was not expecting either, but it's so good. It's so good. Definitely A tier. In fact, I might move that above Justice League Dark just by a smidge. It just barely beats it by a smidge. But next up we got The Death of Superman. Oh, this is, again, immediately I know off the top of my head where it's going. That's going S tier. This is one of, it might be my favorite. Oh my gosh, do I love Death of Superman more than the Flashpoint paradox? I'm gonna say no. It doesn't beat the Flashpoint paradox for the sole reason it is a part 1 of 2, and I don't think the second half, which we'll get to later, holds up quite as well as the first half. But I do love Death of Superman so much. It's probably one of my favorite Superman movies, period, live action or animated. It's so intimate with the characters, and I absolutely love it to death. This is how you do Death of Superman, Snyder Bros. Batman v Superman did not handle that well. This is how you handle Death of Superman. I love this movie so much. Next we got Constantine and the City of Demons, John Constantine. Again, this is one of those movies where I don't think they were super memorable, but it was still solid. I'm a little biased because I do love John Constantine, but again, there wasn't super memorable. So I think a nice middle C tier is that. I think that's a nice little place to put it. Next up we got Reign of Superman, which is that part 2 to the Death of Superman I was talking about. Listen, this is good. It's a solid. I surprisingly enjoyed the casting of Rainn Wilson as Lex Luthor, who he was in Death of Superman as well, but he gets a much more prominent role in it. I think this is good. It's not as good as The Death of Superman, but it's still very enjoyable and a lot of fun. Reign of the Superman, I say solid A tier. I probably like it a little bit more than Hell to Pay. Just by a smidge. But it was like a little disappointing how good the first one was. It was really hard to live up to that. Next we got Batman Hush. Okay, here's the thing. I think Batman Hush is solid, and I get why they changed the thing that they did. If you know, you know. They wanted to subvert expectations because a lot of their other movies have been so faithful to the source material, to the comics, that it's hard to kind of surprise viewers who have already read that. And so they wanted to switch things up a little bit. I get why they did it. However, it didn't really work for me. The rest of the movie, it was fine. It was good, solid. It's a Batman Hush. But that twist really kind of dropped it for me. I think for that reason, I'm gonna have to throw it in D. I've never been the biggest fan of the Batman Hush story to begin with. So to be fair, I'm a little bit biased in that sense, but I think D is fine. It's not unwatchable. It's a fun little thing, maybe to throw on in the background or whatever. Wonder Woman Bloodlines. Again, this is one of those, like, it's solid. Again, it's just not memorable. DC really be doing Wonder Woman dirty sometimes. Like, I think she's only ever had 2 animated movies, and this is one of them. But it's not super memorable. It's solid though. It's good. I think low C is a good place. Is a good place for it. Last but not least, we have Justice League Dark Apocalypse War. I know this was very controversial. This was the end of the DC animated movie universe, and it kind of like rebooted it going into the Tomorrowverse. I didn't hate it. It was there was a lot going on in this movie. Didn't hate it though. I kind of loved it. It was very dark. One of the few R-rated movies in this universe. There's a lot of good and then like some not so good stuff as well. But I really enjoyed it for what it was, to be honest with you. And the more I think about it, the more I kind of like this movie. I think I might have to throw this. I think high B would be a good place. I think right above Son of Batman is where I would put that there. Yeah, I think this kind of completes the tier list. That went a lot faster than I thought it would. But yeah, at S tier, we have the Flashpoint Paradox and the Death of Superman, my all-time favorites. A tier, we have Batman vs. Robin, which really should have been called Batman the Court of Owls, but oh well. We have The Reign of the Superman, Suicide Squad Hell to Pay, and Justice League Dark. In B tier, we got Justice League War, Justice League Dark Apocalypse War, Son of Batman, Teen Titans The Judas Contract, and the Justice League vs. Teen Titans. C tier, we got Throne of Atlantis, Constantine City of Demons, Batman Bad Blood, Wonder Woman Bloodlines, and the only one in D tier, Batman Hush. Poor guy. He's just hanging out down there. And nothing in F tier. Like I said, I really like these movies. I think they're great. I don't think there is one, like, really bad one. If there was, it would be Batman Hush, and really, like, it's not terrible. It's just the weird twist they did that didn't really work for me. But yeah, so there's the tier list. So that is my rankings of the DC animated movie universe, all of the movies they have there. I know there are other ones, but they still, again, are not canon to this specific timeline of movies. And I know this leads into the Tomorrowverse. If you want to see me rank the Tomorrowverse movies, let me know in the comments. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of the Tomorrowverse. I really loved the DCAMU with the New 52 kind of art style. It's just personally what I really liked. And again, they did a great job adapting the stories. The Tomorrowverse is okay, but like it's got more flops than wins in my opinion. But let me know what your rankings are in the comments of these movies. I'd love to see them. But that's gonna be all for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, thank you so much. You deserve a little smooch. Mwah. Thank you. But that'll be all for now. Again, thank you so much for watching, and remember to stay saucy. I'll see you guys later.